the young globetrotter, has Murrayfield in the palm of his dinner plate-sized hands. Never has there been a greater Scotland victory. 85 points without reply.
Well, Gregor, as far as opening weekends go, that was all right, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Well, I think it was great for the supporters to see such an attacking game from our players, and from a coaching perspective, we're really pleased to see what they'd worked on in training. We got the opportunity to deliver that. And for the two new caps,
yeah, brilliant.
To being involved in a game where things are going your way, that doesn't always happen. So yeah, a good start, but we know the next few weeks are going to be much tougher.
Has it given you food for thought, some of the performances from last week? Is that a good thing, or is that now just added a spanner into the works?
Oh, it has to be a good thing, doesn't it? It means selection meetings go on a bit longer. We were in this room on Sunday night, and there was a few to sleep on, and there's tougher decisions. But I think you have to get the context of who we originally thought would give us best chance of winning against New Zealand, who we wanted to play in that game to get more match fitness. And then others that have put their hands up, not just in the game but in training. Have they changed our original thinking? And you'll just wait and see until the team gets announced. But look, some players have gone up in our estimations, maybe not just for this game, but I think of Liam McConnell, who wins his first cap and has impressed us so much in training. Had an outstanding game, so he's closer to the squad than he was a week ago. And there's others that are coming back to form and fitness at the right time.
He has his own showreel now after just that one match, but how impressed were you with the way he handled the occasion? Because it's a huge deal making your debut for Scotland.
It is, and he showed much more emotional control than a number of people, including myself, have done on their debuts. We'll see it as supporters. I'm now saying I'm a supporter watching it on TV. We'll see the moments when he had the line breaks, then he maybe stole a line out, but there were so many more examples of him just getting the detail right, or whether it was a contact clear, whether it was showing animation in attack, leading the kick chase, and those are the parts of the game we really value. And for him to deliver that and not thinking too much about his own performance or the scoreline or the occasion, it's a real credit to him.
You mentioned it there, it's a huge game. It's a huge game for the players, for the fans. But for you as a coach, is it a game to get excited about? New Zealand don't come round very often in many people's careers, but for you and the rest of the coaching staff, to pit your wits against them, how does that feel? Yeah,
I think the occasion, playing at home at Murrayfield is always a big one, and there's times as you get into the build-up of the game, you do feel like you're a supporter looking forward to the way the team's going to go out and play. And then as a coach, you're up against one of the best teams. We've only played them twice in the last 8 seasons, so we don't get to play them very often. We've had those 2 close defeats as well, so that does motivate you or challenges you too about making sure that we build a great training week and we think out of our players' way and they can go and deliver. So yeah, I think it's more excitement about seeing our players go out there. And they'll be challenged this week, challenged a lot more than they were last week, but that's when you get the best out of our group.
As a coach, do you go back to those 2 times that your teams have played against the All Blacks and have a look, or for you is that now gone, as it were?
I don't think you'll have a look at anything specific from the game, because the game's changed in the last 2 or 3 years, and also individuals are no longer there in both teams. But are there any lessons you can unpick from being ahead with 10, 15 minutes to go, and how we manage that situation? We'll definitely talk about that, probably with the leaders, and a lot of the leaders were there in that game, and if we were in that same scenario, what we'd do differently. But every game tells a different story, like how it's going to play out the weekend. We've got to adapt and react to it. I believe our team and our players, and particularly our leaders, they're more ready for these challenges of playing the top 3 teams in the world, and whether that's being in a game where we're playing well or not so well, I think they now know how to win back momentum and how to lead others to get to what we want.
Yeah, we spoke to Finn Russell, who said that some of the guys who've obviously been in and around the squad for a long time have learned lessons over the piece, but also those who were away with the Lions this summer, picking up things from other players, from other coaches that they can bring back in and manage within the squad on the field. Is that something that you welcome?
Absolutely. And look, if you go to a tour like Lions and you're alongside the best from Great Britain and Ireland. You're going to see certain things that they do as individual players, but also how they lead, how they set standards. And guys like Finn and Sione have came back and said, like, we've got a bit of growth in us as a playing group to lead more, and we need to give them that opportunity to own the performance, to own meetings more. And I think the time is right for them to do that. And we've seen that this week. We've seen it in the conversations we had before coming into camp.
We spoke there just about what some of the players have brought into the squad from their own experiences. I know you spent time with Collingwood, the AFL side, over the summer. How much value do you put on other sports and trying to learn from them to bring into to rugby as a whole?
Yeah, I find it really energising to visit other organisations, other environments. I hadn't done it as often over the last couple of years as I would have done it in previous seasons. And I got a real buzz having a long time, a week with Collingwood. They're a brilliant learning environment. They're really connected. They coach well. A couple of things we've picked up just to add to our environment. But also just having that process of discussing, these are things I learned. Can we do things differently? No, or can we add to our environment? We met all the Lions players about what they learned on their tour. We had 2 staff members on the tour as well, so they've definitely brought things back to help us, and I feel that's what we should be doing, like learning from the best, knowing what works for us, just trying to add a layer every campaign to be better off the field. And off the field is really important, how we connect, how our environment runs, how can we be better on the field as in the training and into games. A lot of that is over to our players.
I mean, we've even seen it in football this season, particularly Luis Enrique at PSG watching the game from the stand, having picked that up from rugby. I mean, there is such a wealth of knowledge, isn't there? I mean, you've obviously now got your connection with Red Bull, but is it about taking bits from other places that you can then bring into the Scotland setup? At
times it is. On occasion it just gets you thinking differently. So the AFL, Aussie rules in particular, there's some similarities in the game now, especially with the amount of contested kicks that have started to come into our game. But it is a totally different game. So you're looking at things about environment, how the players feel going into a game. And it might just get you thinking about your environment and go, well, we do that well, but maybe I've never thought about this area. Certainly when I came back from the summer, I talked about it's an opportunity for us to reset and see what we could do differently. We've obviously got the World Cup in 2 years. We had a change in our coaching staff. We actually changed where we train now. We now train where the football team used to train. I thought it was a good time to just look at all areas of our environment. Is there anything we can improve right now, or things that we can change or add? And that was a really good process. There's certainly things that we feel we've improved, and I'm hoping the players get the benefit of that. You mentioned the World Cup there. You've obviously signed your new deal. Congratulations on that. Looking ahead to that, we've seen other nations very much focusing the squad and their selection process with a view to being ready for that in 2 years' time. Is that the way you're approaching things? Is that what your mindset is, or is it more immediately focused? It has to be immediately focused. I think we're lucky in rugby that we have the Six Nations every year, which is a huge tournament. We get to play 2 of the best Southern Hemisphere teams every November. So there's not really too much time to plan for World Cups. But we have been fortunate on the summer tour when we had so many guys on the Lions tour, and last summer that we were able to bring new uncapped players into our environment. We had another 2 at the weekend. But I think now I can't see too many opportunities for young players really coming in, or uncapped players, unless they've really made a breakthrough. So that probably should mean our squad's going to be settled over the next couple of seasons. Don't think anyone will retire. They're a good age profile. And that's really positive too. They're going to get those collective experiences in international games and camps if we get lucky with injuries for the next 2 seasons. What would it mean to you to get a result against the All Blacks? I know it's easy to sit here now and talk about it. It'll obviously come down to the game, but it's never been done before by any Scotland team to beat them. What would it mean to you to be that coach and to be part of this group that could deliver that? Well, you'd have to ask me again on Saturday night, because I don't know. I think you can't think too far ahead. International sport has some highs and lows during the 80 minutes and has some game-to-game highs and lows, so we just want to see how the game unfolds. our job is to make sure we get our players prepared the best they can, and of course if it was a successful day it'd be very enjoyable, but we'll just wait and see what happens.
There's certainly a lot of optimism in the stands. Do you welcome that?
Is there?
From the Scotland fans I'm talking to.
Well, I think we've definitely raised the level of expectation with this group from what they're capable of doing, what they've done. I feel a real connection with our supporters and the team, and you see that before games, a couple hours before the games. You see it during games. You see it after defeats too. Like if our team performs well and represents a country well, like the game against South Africa this time last year. While we lost, the supporters knew that we were much closer than the scoreline suggested. We had opportunities to win, and they saw a Scotland team they were proud of. So I think we've got that connection, and I hope they're optimistic going into the game. They believe in our players, they believe in our team, and we do as well. We feel we can take on any team in the world, and we're now going to be playing one of the best teams in history, and certainly on the weekend's form, they're one of the best teams in the world right now.
Well, we wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you.